He's doing the leaner, lifting up the cheek.
Cheek sneak.
Yeah.
He's a good job. After he gave you a little bit of
I'm not, well, I am a little sensitive.
what happened?
Oh, he told me to get a pronunciation chart.
And put it to the broken clipboard. One of the guys on YouTube.
Oh, really?
That was funny. But
He's one that always likes to playfully jam at anyone.
seemed like Wayzata was misfiring, trying to get out of their zone. Passes in the feed, passes behind the players, but the Red Knights took some pretty good angles to regain possession of the puck, and it was Cooper Gay that just redirected that pass. Trevor Wong, early lead, just 58 seconds into this game for Benilde St. Margaret's. And
that one for very good reasons. It nearly trickled through the arm.
Well, that was Mortensen, I think, that took that shot from the left dot, but it was up in the shoulder area. Wong not only made the save, but that's a difficult rebound to corral, and he did a nice job holding on to that and forcing the face-off. 13:24 left in this first period. We're early yet, but Benilde St. Margaret's
they open up for the shot. That might have been redirected.
Well, it might have been, but I think it was Messenberg that actually finished that play. It was just a chip past the defenseman, and Messenberg behind the defenseman in front of Wong in goal just put it 5-hole. But Messenberg scored some big goals for this squad early this season, and I look for that trend to continue. But now it's 2-0. coming up playing in some inspired hockey.
Indeed it is. Sent back in behind the net. Check thrown there as it's going to be the Trojans back in behind the net. Fading down to the corner. This is, haven't seen much of a sustained forechecker. Ooh, nice job there. Barr was stood up on the play. That by North. If you're the Red Knights, you want to get it off that end board and get it out and get in transition. Here comes Barr across the line. His wrist shot is stopped by Wong. Behind the net it goes. Ooh, Barr submarines a would-be check from Mortensen. And now it's going to be picked up off the end boards by Schneider. Left wing. Across the line they go. That was Dylan Lewis. Now it's Schweitzer. Ahead to the right wing side for Johnny Woodford. Plays this back in behind the net. Johnson looks out front. Schweitzer's got a laser. Scores! You saw that thing on display. 3-0 Red Knights.
Again, another misplay by Wayzata in their own zone, but a pass came back to Schweitzer. Schweitzer just took a couple steps in, saw that blocker side upper quarter, and just lasered one past Wong. It's 3-0 now. Benoit St. Margaret's with an advantage. Shots on goal now are 9-0. Wayzata's really got to kind of just settle themselves down and get possession of this puck and get back to playing Trojan hockey, but it's not an easy task the way the Red Knights are playing tonight.
Right now, the Trojan bench is looking a little bit stunned right now by this very young and quick Red Knight team.
Boy, and in contrast, the Red Knight bench looks like they're standing there engaged, and they have a lot of energy going on over there. A lot of good feelings going on for Coach Pauly's team.
Moni and Messenberg's sticks came up there off the far face-off. I guess that's high school's version of the fight when you're behind looking to change the tempo of the game.
Well, one thing that the Red Knights have to just keep playing the way that they're playing. They're playing a very responsible game. Their angles are good. They're jumping routes and cutting off passes. Sometimes when you get an early lead, you tend to sag or change your game a little bit. They just have to keep putting the pressure on like they're doing, and they're going to continue to trend toward success. But I'm kind of stunned the way Wayzata's just back on their heels in their own zone. A little bit unusual, but that's just the Red Knights coming out to play.
Well, you know, one of the things that a regular season does for you when you play different types of teams, it allows you opportunities to learn. And, you know, in that Edina loss and that St. Thomas Academy loss, they felt like they needed better tempo and wanted to push the pace here on this game. And this is what Ken Pauly's teams have been known to do.
No, you brought up a great point, and they're seeming to buck that trend a little bit tonight because they're doing everything the coach wants them to do so far.
And they're having their way in the offensive zone. Shots blocked. Nice job there up front by Kimlinger. They set up by Limesand off to his left. Marshall couldn't get the handle on that one. Peters plays that one back right into the Red Knight zone. Ooh, nice job to get away from a would-be checker there. That was James Callahan. Played down with a mitt. They have this one up high. Cross the line. Look out. Oh, what a save by Limesand. Sprawls over to his left. Yakish translates that quickly up the ice to Marshall. Gets slashed on the play. Stays with it. Stuck out of there by Wong. Trojans back up through center ice. Now it's going to be handled by Foley. Rink wide as he finds Johnson, but that was cut off by the stick of Michael North. Mortensen now is going to walk it down back in behind for Foley, who will have to hurry. This is where the Trojans can get you. And you'll see right here the forecheck. They get their bodies on you. You got to keep moving it.
Absolutely, and Limesand got called on after not seeing any shots in the first 6 minutes and came up with a couple pretty good saves, but Wayzata started to get some flow.
A couple of tough sprawlers there he had to deal with. Laid back up high to the line. Down goes, nice job to spin that one toward the net by Bergslund as they try to play that one ahead. Mortensen tried to draw a penalty. He wasn't going to get that as he came together with Nick Gardner.
Gets points for effort, though.
Absolutely. Bergslund with it. He got some, what do they call that, riding points?
Well, style points. Yeah, oh, there you go.
Yeah, you know.
You're right. Actual legitimate wrestling is what you mean.
Warner. Back into the corner. Lewis, now it's turned over. Schweitzer was going to miss the mark on that one, but not Bad job by Wong to cover that up and hang on. 7:49 to go in period number 1. 3-0 Red Knights with a terrific start.
Well, and Wayzata starting to show some signs of pushback as it stands, but a little aggressive on the forecheck for the Red Knights. They don't really need to be that aggressive. So that might be something to kind of keep an eye on as this period unfolds.
One thing they're not going to do in Wayzata is panic.
No.
This team's been around a long time and know what they're doing. That through the slot area there. Pushed ahead. Now across the line they go with Bischel inside out. Wong pokes that away. Bischel centers the feed. Oh, Schweitzer had a golden opportunity. Wraparound attempt. Wong gets there. Scrambles and gets his way there to make the save.
Well, again, a trying moment, but Wong kept the puck out of the net. It was a situation where Wong was in a vulnerable spot. The net was wide open, but it passed a couple Red Knights sticks, but they put it back on goal. Kind of got a little bit of a trying moment for Wayzata, but that's that forward push by Benode. They're able to sustain it and put pressure on the Wayzata goaltender, but that was a pretty good sequence by Red Knights, but kept it out of the net, so nice job by Trevor Wong.
You know, Schweitzer was open up high in the slot area with some traffic and a screen and all kinds of things like that. And fact of the matter is he nearly pulls the trigger, and when you see him loading it up, it's cause for concern.
Well, that's what he showed last time. He sniped that corner from just inside the blue line, so the young man can shoot the puck.
Yakish goes up and out of play.
Well, it's going to be initiated by Wayzata, so the faceoff's going to be in the Wayzata zone to Wong's left. 7:18 left in this first period. Benilde out to a 3-0 lead. And it doesn't look like they're done yet.
Quick jump by them, absolutely. Matthews with the win, left wing. Now they'll find the tape for Moni out of the zone. Matthews with speed up the middle, being watched by Yakish. Matthews just crawled right over his defenseman there, and Yakish, but doesn't matter as the Red Knights battle off the end boards and transition out of the zone with Marshall. He crosses at center. Messenberg tries to leave for Yakish. Here comes Matthews now back at center. He can skate across the line, try to work through traffic. Limestad makes the read. They're into the net area there, and that knocks that one off its posts.
Well, it's almost good that the net came off the post, kind of a vulnerable moment, but it was Matthews that actually gained the zone, put a little dance on, put a shot on goal, but it was the follow-up that was the important part of that. But Benilde stopped that forward thrust by Joel Matthews, the senior forward. Had a good game last night. The player that really had a terrific game last night was Moni, goal and 2 assists.
Yeah, he was very busy last night on the score sheet.
Looking to get busy again tonight, I'm sure.
Ooh, nice shot by Bergslund, seeing eye to the pad save. Johnson to the line, but not out. Peters is jammed on the play. Or check that. That play was made by Tucker Ness. Back in behind now, Red Knights. Every puck they want to move, they're going to get roughed up by a physical forecheck. Ness now back in behind the net. He's shivered on the play there. The Red Knights try to work that one down the slot, but it's Bergslund who steps up on the play. They leave a shot off the post and a bullet. Absolute laser by Ben Lutke. Back the other way it comes through center. The Red Knights stay on the puck. Now it's Ness with it. Plays that one onto the stick for Fairchild. They'll go rink wide with Bergslund from center. Plays that one right to Schweitzer as he has some room and he takes it. Nice little feed off of the stick of Barr. Got a check that was about to take him into next week. Now it's going to be center ice. Barr again with it. Nice job to make a play there with the hands. Left wing on the outlet. They go with it for Lewis. Lewis through everyone. Sticks go flying in the air. First penalty of the period.
Well, I know it's going to be on the Red Knights, and I think it might be on Bischel or Schweitzer. I think it's Bischel that's going to go. But a great opportunity for the Trojans. 5:36 left in the first period, down by 3. Now the Red Knights in the box, and it is going to be Charlie Bischel, the junior forward, that's going to go for the Red Knights. So time for the Red Knights to pick up their teammate and kill this penalty out. But a great, as I said, opportunity for this Wayzata Trojan team to cut the lead.
If you're the Trojans, you want to lean in on this one, and 5:36 to go, Bart, and start putting a crooked number up on that board.
Well, just get some shots on Limestad and make him make some plays.
Trojans now control to the near side. Bergslund. Now Matthews off the stick of Fairchild as he's watched by Foley. Back up for Matthews. Bergslund walks and shoots up over the glass. Shallow angle. Limestad slides over. Covers. No, he doesn't. Matthews low slot. The net off its posts. Lime Sand was nowhere to be found as there was all sorts of noise going on there, but watch this, and that was actually off right there.
Right, and it was a sequence that followed a lot of disappointed Trojan fans, but that whistle was blown well before that puck went into the net. Pretty aggressive play on that, but the net off the moorings. But Wayzata has to take some positives. I mean, they're getting some looks at the goal anyway, and they're going to the net, so it's up to the Red Knight defenders to block out and allow their goaltender to see those shots.
Face-off was outside and sent right back in wide of the goal with 1:28 to go on the man advantage. Clock winds down now to 5 minutes. We're at the 12-minute mark of period number 1. Rink wide, grabbed up by Matthews, turns away, looks at Barr and plays it over to the near side. That was Kimlinger, who finds now Bergsland with it. Matthews ahead for Fairchild, watched to the corner by Sarsland. Fairchild will protect the puck, cycles it back in behind. To the corner, they battle. Callahan was there. Bergsland down the wall, but that's picked up and sent by Callahan the length of the ice. Wong will play ahead for Bergsland. Yakic does enough to get into his way. Bounding puck off the shin. The high thigh area of Matthews, played back into the corner. It's on a rope for him. Plays it up to Bergsland. Matthews goes rink wide. Bergsland, the one-timer, quick pad save by Limestad. It's going to be gathered in by Schweitzer, and he sends that one the length of the ice with 3:55 to go in the period and 18 on the power play.
Perfect. Well done. That's what I was going to interject, but I like what Benoit St. Margaret's doing. They're winning the little battles, but they aren't taking themselves out of the position that they need to be in to defend. Very disciplined penalty kill so far.
That puck picked off the line by Gay as it's deflected up and out of play. We will reset back now up. Where are they taking us?
Outside the zone.
Off a Trojan stick, they say.
That should about do it.
It's a big kill as Callahan sends it the length of the ice. North with it. Nice angle on the stick on the forecheck. We're at full strength with Warner. Look out, Callahan jammed, turned it over. Warner comes back away with it. Warner plays that one ahead. Schweitzer, left wing, nice job off the boards for Bischel as he comes away and plays back over for Callahan. Callahan ahead for Bischel, oh, no, Warner rather, fanned on that one. That was gathered in by Mortensen. And the foot race to the corner, it's going to be Podiak. He's checked by Foley. Callahan comes in to help out, along with Bischel. And finally, the Trojans walk out, but they have great support to the Red Knights. It's Bischel who gets it back from Warner. Bischel, watched by Bergsland, puts on the brakes, wants to wait for some help as the Red Knights were in the midst of a change. Nice job by Bischel to keep that alive. A wrister. Blocker pad save, rebound off the post by Warner. Nearly put it up 4-0 for the Red Knights late here in the first. Laid back up to the line. Schweitzer, that's the right guy in that situation under duress, made the play. Forced off the boards though. Now it's picked up by Sarsland. Finds an opening and sends that one back in and behind. Trojans now back in. That's Tomzik with it. They play this one up to the line but not out. Held in, nifty job by Bisson. Marshall takes a little bit of an arm there in the corner from Bergsland. Bisson comes away with it. Schweitzer sends one through. Bounding puck. Ooh, they had a man open in front that might have gotten through on Wong. Back in behind, it's Messenberg again. Try to shallow angle Gretzky-like there and bank it in off the goaltender.
Well, that was a pretty smooth move if it would have worked. It just didn't have enough speed to actually carry him out, and Wong decided to cut that route. Nobody really in front, but I will say that the Red Knights have really done a nice job of managing the neutral zone. They've come through with some speed and possession, but they've done a great job of bottling up Wayzata in their own zone and creating some opportunities and putting some pressure on the Wayzata goaltender. 1:43 left in this first period.
Bisson with the face-off, but then it's won by Kimlinger and the Trojans to the right wing side. They looked up front. Oh, there's a shot. Scores! Matthews, that guy can finish, and he's a player. He takes that Red Knight lead and turns it into a 3-1 deficit.
Well, and if you're Wayzata, that's got to give you a little energy. And it was Matthews, no stranger to the front of the net, and he's a finisher. He can finish a play. I believe that's his 7th goal of the season, but a big goal when his team needed it the most. 1:33 left in this first period. Now it cuts the deficit to 2. If you're the Red Knights, it's very important that you don't change your style of play right now. Just keep doing what you're doing, but don't sag and get yourself into a defensive mode. Just keep putting pressure on for the success, but the Trojans finally get some reward for some hard work.
Turned over at the line. The Red Knights forced to touch up now, as it's going to be Bergsland who's shivered down on the play. Puck is turned over. Now it's a quick wrister that misses the mark. Yakish up high from the line. He's going to guide this down to Gay. His shot's blocked by the defense. Redirect, nice job there with Johnson. In front they go again to Johnson. Gay comes over, but that's going to be sent right back up and out of play, and the length of the ice it goes.
Well, it was the Red Knights that actually had Mortensen on the weak side wide open, a lane to actually get that puck to him. They opted to take the shot, but I like the response from the Red Knights. They just came right back down and went to business in the offensive zone, and that's exactly the response that you want, especially from a young team, to be able to be resilient. You're not going to shut this Wayzata team out, or the mindset is likely you're not. So you can't get down if you get scored against, and it looks like Red Knights are right back to business.
Callahan, Mornert play that one into the corner. North was checked on the play. Schweitzer kicks it back out of the air. Played down by Bischel. He'll try to swat that one toward the goal mouth area as it's Bergsland with it. Swings it around the boards. North will be in chase mode as Bischel tries to cycle it to the corner. Picked off by North. Back in behind it goes. Long pass up through center by Lutke. That's going to be in on Limesand. He's just going to elect to cover that up with 29.3 to go in the period.
Well, it's really good hustle by Wayzata, and that was Luke Fairchild that went down and really forced the Limesand to cover that puck. But 29.3 seconds left. Both teams want to finish this period strong and intelligent, but it all comes down to this face-off. Very important for both squads as far as possession in the waning moments of this first period. Good win by Messenberg.
Good to see Jason Eisold back on board from the rec center. Can't leave this gorgeous facility.
No.
Love it. Bart Archer, Anthony DiGiulio is with us too.
Anthony, always nice to have you with us.
Oh, nice check by Schweitzer. Steps up and throws some leather. Down goes Mortensen. They're going to let that one go.
Boy.
Appreciate they're letting them play. It's great.
Absolutely. Let the players decide. It didn't limit any scoring opportunities. Boy, if you're Coach O'Leary, you just have to settle the kids down. Obviously, there's a good quality squad. They're not too taken aback by being down by a couple. A little unusual for this edition of the Trojan team, but they just have to get back to playing Trojan hockey. But if you're Coach Ken Paul, you have to feel real good about the start. As you said, Pete, notorious for starting a little slow in their 2 losses. I think they answered that call tonight for their coach and came out like a house of fire. But 3-1 lead going into the first period. I think Coach Ken Paul has to feel pretty good about that.
We'll be back with more coming up right after this.
Like you didn't have time to work out? Do you have a hard time believing you could really get in shape, lose weight, or stick with exercise? As a busy person, does it all just sound too complicated? We've worked with thousands of people who've had those same concerns. People who have a real desire to take care of their bodies, but have trouble moving from intentions to real results. Based on 20 years of development and cutting-edge science, we have created a breakthrough and totally data-driven exercise program that can fit into anyone's schedule. It's all about quality over quantity. In just 20 minutes twice a week with one of our certified coaches, you can finally enjoy strength and experience success. Most traditional workouts fail to deliver the results people desire because they aren't designed with individuals in mind. Our Smart 20 workout measures your unique makeup, and our trainers are there to make sure you get a workout that's designed perfectly for you. Never before has there been a combination of strength and conditioning put together in such a safe and efficient manner that's totally accessible to everyone regardless of their current fitness level. Thousands of people have seen the results and shared their stories, but don't just take our word for it. Don't take the word of our thousands of success stories. Come in and try it for yourself. We believe so passionately in how we can help you that we are offering you the chance to get a free trial of our Smart 20 training sessions with one of our knowledgeable coaches. There is absolutely no commitment on your end. Plus, we'll answer all of your questions about how to meet your health, weight loss, and fitness objectives. What have you got to lose? Come in for your free personal Smart 20 sessions. Register for your free sessions by signing up at exercisecoach.com.
Periods on our Minnesota high school hockey coverage, and are pleased to be joined by Tradition Capital Bank's Scott Boyning. Scott's the market president for Tradition Capital Bank. And Scott, you got quite the thing going on here. Can you kind of give us an overview on Tradition Capital Bank? What is it? How many employees, future offices, or what you have for offices and future growth?
Sure. Thanks, Pete. Thanks for the opportunity. Tradition Capital Bank was a de novo bank in July of 2005. Today, 13 years later, we're about $700 million in assets, so a nice-sized bank. Main locations in Edina, Minnesota. We have a full-service bank in North Oaks, and possibly looking going to the West Metro in 2019.
Oh, really? Can you give us any nibbles of what you're thinking? Or
just growing the franchise. We've got a lot of clients and referral partners out in that area, so that we will be able to service the entire Twin Cities metro.
Boy, that's fantastic. So you'll have all angles covered there. From your bank, I personally bank with you.
Thank you.
And I love it. It's very efficient, very impressive. The staff is great, and all of the services are fantastic for me from a business perspective. Can you tell us a little bit about what makes your bank unique?
Yeah, we really focus on the relationship banking model, which is really getting to know our clients. So we're more positioned as a private bank, which means a lot of different things to different people, but really what we're focused on is larger relationships, less customers, more service. Kind of the old school way of doing banking. We sit down, meet with an individual, talk about themselves and their business and how we can help them. If it's over a cup of coffee or if it's at the bank or at their business, it's the face-to-face handshake type relationships we have. That I think in this day and age in banking kind of sets you apart with some of the big guys.
The big out-of-the-box chain type banks we've seen. But the other thing is how much has that, do you think, contributed to your future growth out to the West, and also your $750 million in assets, that type of strategy? How much has that played into it?
It's a very important part of our strategy. We're 99% referral based, so great clients like you telling other people that's the best way for us to grow. We've been organic growth from day one, hiring good people and taking care of our clients, and that's how we continue to kind of see our growth going forward.
Now, we know the economy has been soaring and the stock markets have been incredible, and it's been, for a lot of people, a good year. How has the year been for Tradition Capital Bank?
It's been another strong year. We've had about organically about $100 million of growth year over year for the last 4 years. And a lot of that is attributed to the overall economy in the Twin Cities and Minnesota market and the real estate market. Obviously, lately, rates have gone up a little bit, but we still feel there's a lot of strong growth in the new housing, new construction area going into next year. But we also, we're getting larger as a bank, we're getting more diversified. So seeing businesses grow, need for capital, and with rates going up, we're also paying a little bit more in deposit rates, which correspondingly kind of can help or hurt your margin depending on how you're doing.
In terms of, we kind of touched on a little bit about word of mouth and your relationships and those kinds of things, but what is one of the things that you do to, beyond that, to compete with the larger big name banks that you see the signs everywhere?
Yeah, for us, it's try to make banking simple and quick turnaround. We're locally owned and operated, so we make decisions here locally really quickly. Term sheets usually within 24 hours for a loan. Deposit accounts we can set up very efficiently, very fast. Technology is a game changer. I think that's the great equalizer in banking going forward. So we continue to invest in technology to help make it easier for our clients and their businesses to do business with us.
Now, we do know that technology is part of everything, and there are some tools out there that people employ in every aspect of business. What have you done on the banking side of things to utilize that?
For us, it continues to be, I think, paramount is the security side, and we continue to make investments in security. You're seeing a lot of fraud, cybersecurity, things like that in the news. And then mobile apps, continuing to make our mobile app the best we can to make it easy, taking a picture of your check to make a deposit so you don't have to come in, moving money. We're also researching additional ways for people to be able to move money easier.
Yeah.
You've heard of Zelle and different things like that. I think you're going to continue to see that. Fintech's a big word these days, but more innovations in technology will help banks like us compete with the bigger banks. Because if you can combine the relationship plus the technology, that's really tough to beat, I think. So, kind of be a fast follower, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? You don't need to invent the wheel, you just need to modify it.
Exactly. And that's, banks of our size, I think that's kind of the golden rule going forward is make sure you have the products and services, but combine that with the true relationship banking model.
Any last words you have for our listeners?
We'd love to help you. We're here in Edina and North Oaks. If you're looking for a locally owned, operated bank, we'd love to take the time to meet for coffee and see how we can help you.
I second that motion. Make the call. That's Scott Boyning. He's the market president from Tradition Capital Bank. And once again, they're a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to the St. Louis Park Rec Center along with Bart Archer. I'm Pete Wagner. Taking a look at the scoring summary. 3 big goals scored by the Red Knights, but then look out. here come the Trojans as they answer.
Yeah, indeed they did. It was 58 seconds. It was Cooper Gay that scored. Assist from Jet Johnson kind of set the tone for this Red Knight squad. Then at the 3:46 mark was Blake Messenberg from Adam Marshall. Then at 6:28 it was Nate Schweitzer with a snipe from the blue line, unassisted goal. That made it 3-0. As you said, Pete Wagner, was Joel Matthews that scored the goal from Kimlinger and defenseman Carson Peters at 11:24. Shots on goal that period. Benilde Margus had an 8-0 advantage at one point. Wayzata came back, closed the gap to 9-7 was the final in that period. And Nate Schweitzer unofficially had 9 minutes and 44 seconds of ice time in that first period. And as I said, if you have a resource like that, you might as well use it.
9:44 of ice time out of 17 minutes.
That's pretty good stuff.
That would be called leaning on your big guy.
Indeed. Well, if you have that resource. But I thought Callahan played a nice period. I thought defensively as a group, this Benilde Margus team really played very responsible. I love their angles. They didn't overcommit. They didn't get themselves out of position. It really, I think, frustrated the Trojans. The Trojans are going to look to try to get some momentum and possession and speed through the neutral zone, but it's been very difficult area for this Trojan team to navigate so far.
You know, when you think about a guy like Nate Schweitzer, there's some really good defensemen that we see out here in this tournament. But, you know, I mean, I've heard some people think that he could be, you know, as a junior, one of the best we have around.
Well, good things to come from, but we've watched him even as his development goes, and you really don't even try to even think of where a ceiling might be on him. Just let him go and play his game, and that's what Coach Pauley's allowing him to do tonight, and they're reaping some benefits. He's a steadying force back there. You know, the forwards can sometimes take a little bit more chances, and again, he can spearhead the rush and contribute offensively, but he's quite an outstanding defensive player as well. I think that gets often overlooked just with the offensive production that he brings to the table.
Well, we get ready here now to start the
Here we go.
period, and we're underway. Bergslin now with it. Trojans had time between the periods to regroup and get their store in order. I'm sure we'll see a little bit of a different game out of them. But the Red Knights don't want to settle in here and get into hoping to win mode. They got to get into finish mode and finish the track race.
Yep, shift by shift.
Here they go with Bischel. Back in across the line. Look at that work by Barr down low as Senior fought through traffic. Bischel up for Schweitzer. Schweitzer walks over to the right side. Leaves back up high. Wrist shot. Ooh, turned aside. Nice save by Wong. Ooh, watch this one on replay.
Wow, that was a nice play. It was Schweitzer that actually drew the defenders over and got it back to Warner. Warner put a pretty good shot on goal, but it was Wong that deflected it up and out of play, so faceoff's going to be to his right. Pretty good start. Trojans really kind of tried to punch it up the gut early, so you know that they're trying to get some offensive flow, but Benilde came right back down and put some pressure back on. Good sign for Coach Pauley.
Oh, that off the side of the net. Bisson had everybody off the side of the rink to our left thinking that was in the net. Instead, it's on the end boards as they battle for it. 1 minute into the second period. Up the ice they work. Across the line, it's Peters to play this one to the corner. Back in behind and around. Handling that one through traffic is Lukey. Tried to play that one up to the center slot area there. There's Marshall with it. Gets a little bit of help with the stick from Callahan. Now it's Bisson tries to swim his way through traffic, maintains possession. Bisson muscles his way in on Wong, who makes the save.
Boy, channeling his inner Spencer Nass on that one.
Oh, the number 8. Look at that. Scores! Oh, speaking of Spencer Nass, there's Bisson with a redirect. And the Red Knights answer off that one goal from the Trojans and regain the 3-goal lead at 4-1.
Well, indeed, it is Jackson Bisson carving his own legacy out, but that was a nice redirect right in front of Wong. Just seemed like what harmless shot seemed to find eyes. Got behind the Wayzata defenseman. It was Bisson that just a redirect right between Wong's 5-hole. And the assist is going to go to Seamus Foley and Blake Messenberg on that one. Big goal for Bisson. Gives Benilde Margus that 3-goal lead again.
Back in across the line. Mortensen. That goes up and out of play. By the way, we're going to have a Pauley's podcast coming up in the next day or so.
It's always a good cast. Always very spirited. I just love the relationship that you guys have, and you guys aren't afraid to poke a little fun at each other either. Very entertaining.
There's a lot of that going on. Trojans from the left wing side. I mean, you have to say you're surprised to know and say and suggest that the Red Knights would be carrying a 3-goal lead into the second period here. Penalty coming up, that one down the wall in this game. I mean, not that we would be surprised they'd have a lead, Bart, but how they get the power play.
Well, it's just the manner they're going about their business. Their forecheck, their angles are good. They're keeping the third forward high to stop that play. That outward pass, but it was Cooper Gay that really won that battle along the wall and really forced Kyle Mortensen to take that penalty. So now a great opportunity for Benilde St. Margaret's to build on this 3-goal lead. 14:47 into the second period. The lead is now 3-4-1 for Benilde St. Margaret's on the power play.
Ooh, look at that. Limesand works the outlet pass to the left wing side. Yakish now to Barr. Back up to Yakish. Barr from the left wing. Watch closely on the play. Barr walks to a shooting angle. Couldn't get that through as that deflects. There's Schweitzer, and check that Foley with the big reach. They try to clear through him. They do. And it'll be Marshall to regroup in his own zone with Yakish back in behind. Couple of freshmen on the power play for the Red Knights. What does that tell you? What's that going to look like in 4 years? Goodness gracious.
Even 2 years.
Played through an open wing and back up into center. Yakish watched on the play, turns it back up ice. Nice job by him to protect the puck. Gets it where he needs to, and that's deep. Back up to Marshall. Over for Yakish at the left hash. Sends some sauce over for Foley. Marshall, nice move to walk away from the check. Back into the corner. I'll take that one up high. Mortensen for Foley. Now gifted back into the corner. Ooh, they had Yakish. Takes it from the left skate. Back door. Oh, what a save. Good one there. Oh, was that terrific.
Well, that was a nice play by Yakic. He saw Mortensen coming in and just tried to do the redirect, just reminiscent of the goal previous, but it was a nice save by Wong on that one to keep that puck out of the net. Just 25 seconds left in the penalty to Mortensen for Wayzata.
Had a look at that one on the replay as the Red Knights brought this one back up ice. Mortensen, nice feed up to the line. That one hits Marshall. And back into the corner. Down goes Gay. Bergsland on him. Mortensen for Gay. Stick is in the way. One-timer Schweitzer. He's got a howitzer. That misses the mark.
And that's Matthews' stick, too, so he's without a twig.
Ooh, nice stick there by Callahan. Got it in on Fairchild, who at center plays this one back in behind the net. Bumped off the end boards. That by Schweitzer. Turnover forced as we're even strength now. 5-on-5 shallow angle. Limesand is there. Ooh, that was awfully close. It looked like the Wayzata faithful thought that was trickling into the back of the net.
Well, he didn't have much to shoot at, but Lutke put a pretty good shot on Limesand, but he closed the door on that short side. But I thought Lutke was going to get flagged with a penalty, but the referee opted to let him play, and that created possession, which created some space. And it was Limesand on the right side of the goal, and it was Lutke trying to go to the left side, but nice job by Limesand to close that door in a hurry. 12:22 left in the second period. 4-1 advantage, BSM.
Bart Archer.
How about that?
Peters, wrist shot. Worked its way through Limesand. Had to come up to kind of handle that fluttering biscuit. Now it's going to be the Trojans in the offensive zone. Bumped off the end boards. Nice job by Bischel. He's had a great game tonight.
Been very effective.
Foley. Solid work by Siemens off the end boards as he comes away with it, then loses the handle. Red Knights quick transition across the line. Barr with it in the feet. Had to have the head down. He could have been absolutely developed. Sarsland wrister goes high, and down goes a couple of players. That's Sarsland who came together. That with the Trojans, Ben Lutke. Back at center, Sarsland's going to regroup, play that back for Schweitzer. Didn't like what he saw there. Wanted to get it to Johnson, stepping up as Peters. As it's gathered in by Warner. Sidestepping to the near side is Schweitzer. Oh, can he smooth it through the zone? Come on. That one goes through the goal mouth area. It's just silky. Bischel plays the body. Peters back in behind the net. CC has got a good one in Schweitzer, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
There he is. See that? Okay, no problem. Let's just run this one ahead. Backdoor chance. Oh, what a save by Wong. Keeps it a 3-goal lead. That's a shot that's deflected. And back up into the center ice area. Warner's going to play this one back in behind. Mortensen. And at center ice it goes. It's going to be Matthews with it now. Yakish look to stand him up. Back to the corner it goes. Gay started to lose the handle, but there's Matthews grinding out of the corner. But the Red Knights just so good now in the battles. They're not backing down from the physical play of this Trojan team, and their quick feet have been a problem much of this game. They come together. Nice battle there. Trojans solid off the end boards on this shift. Back behind the net, it's going to be Moni with it, pinned up on the boards. Getting close to the 7-minute mark of the period. There's a wrister that doesn't get through. That taken by Lewis. Back in on goal. Wong is going to just shovel it back up to the center ice area. Bergsland will let it go. Schneider had a stick on it momentarily. Mortensen back for Sarsland. And up through center ice, it's Messenberg. Haven't called his name yet this period. Messenberg back behind the net. He protects the puck and hangs on. Plays this one up high. Callahan. That's off a skate there, and ahead they go to Fairchild. He might have a 2-on-1 if Lewis can catch up. Fairchild tried to feather it to Lewis up high, and Limesand wise to get the stick out on that one as he steers that one up and out of play.
Well, a little aggressive pinch by the Red Knights on that. They're up by 3 goals, and Callahan got caught deep, and they came back with some numbers. Just an errant pass or really kind of stymied a 2-on-1 break, but they don't have to be that aggressive. But they very responsible forwards came back and closed that gap in a hurry. But it would have been a good opportunity for the Wayzata Trojans, but just got to make the intelligent decisions, especially at the offensive blue line and the defensive blue line.
Thank you to our crew here tonight. John Sands is doing the Twitter highlights for us and blowing up Twitter. It's beautiful stuff. Fanned on as it works its way to the slot. Up over the net. Earnhardt Jaworski doing the live scoring. Of course, Todd Grover on the camera. Earlier in the day, we had Sidney Henches running the camera. Matt Harrington was with us doing some play-by-play. Trip coming up. This will be on
Nick Gardner, I believe. Just got his stick in the wickets. Pulled him down, but another great opportunity. 9:12 left in the second period. Benilde already
there it is.
Holding on to a 3-goal lead. Just got the stick in the wickets right in front of the referee.
It's funny because I was looking up ice, and I didn't see the Red Knight player go down. All I saw was Gardner go down. I'm like, on who?
Yeah, what penalty are we talking
about?
The
replay that told me
exactly. Thank goodness for replay, huh? But
of course, Bart Archer, I meant to say thank you for joining the broadcast tonight. Well, got cut off by a penalty.
Happy to be here.
So the Red Knights have a power play. The Trojans are going to want to kill this one off the best they can.
Well, they're not making it any easier on themselves, especially with the effective puck control that Benilde's had, especially on the power play. But they have to pick up their teammate, get through this if you're a Trojan fan.
Messenberg with some ice up and across the line. Inside out with the stick handle. Stopped on the play. They'll find an opening and send it the length of the ice.
Boy, that was a good clear.
Set up by Limesand. Schweitzer now. Fairchild, nice forecheck there. Look out. Matthews is open. Ooh, they nearly went to a shallow angle there. And they've got a penalty behind the play coming up.
Well, it's going to be a hooking penalty. I don't know who it's to, but just a little lackadaisical on that in their own zone by Benilde St. Margaret's. Didn't have anybody in front, and there was a Trojan all alone. So Red Knights dodged a bit of a bullet, but it's going to be Schweitzer that's going to go to the box. And not only is it a penalty on the Red Knights, but it's one of their big hitters. For a minute and 23, it's going to be 4-on-4, and barring another penalty, it's going to be a brief Wayzata power play. A lot of room to move out there right now.
Bergsland guides this one back in behind the net. Lutke was there. Now it's Moni. He's wedged. Nice play there by Bischel. Bischel across center ice. Works his way through traffic, but Bergsland is there. Looking ahead to Bischel, but no, it's going to be taken back up out of the zone. That's going to be Mortensen with it. Back behind the net. 4-on-4 Nice job by Limesand to hold his ground and make that save.
Boy, he really does a nice job of covering that short post. A lot of goaltenders tend to cheat a little bit and lean off that post, but he does a nice job of putting a wall up in front. And they tried to force it in, but Limesand says no. Face off to his left. 56 seconds left in the penalty to Wayzata's Nick Gardner. And a brief power play, but Wayzata pretty good look on that one, but Limesand came up big again.
Matthews goes to the squared circle with Messenberg, who pulls that one back. Matthews jammed on the play. Back in behind for Matthews. Up to the line it goes. Near side, Bergsland angles a pass. This is 4-on-4 for another 43 seconds. Then the abbreviated Trojan power play. Red Knights poke that away. Back up through center ice. Messenberg is just going to race straight to the net. Oh, they had a man. That almost fired there. Back in the neutral zone, it's going to be Sarsland. Sends that back over for Foley. Back for Sarsland. Ahead to Messenberg. He'll wind this up back through the center ice area. Oh, offside.
Only by a lot. Well, it was a good challenge on that play. I think it was Kyle Mortensen for Wayzata that stepped up and really forced Messenberg to cut. And a little bit aggressive on that zone entry, and I believe that was actually the goal scorer, Jackson Bassan, if my old guy eyes didn't fail me. But a bit of a break for Wayzata as Benil St. Margaret's had some speed with possession through the neutral.
I didn't think Bassan thought he was going to wait and stutter at the line, so he's just going to cut straight through the defense. Uh-oh, turned over. Here they come. It's Lutke in on goal, all alone, over the top of the goal. Power play set to begin in another 2 seconds, and now it's a 2-on-1 back the other way. It could turn into a 2-on-2. No, they keep it the 2-on-1. Johnson feeds through. Oh, they just misfire on that one. Now the power play for 28 seconds for the Trojans. Back up ice they go with Gardner. Gets away from one man. Saved by Limesand. Turn to the line. Nice job. Batted out of the air. Beautiful play there. That's blocked up high. That's Barr. Tries to get his stick on that one. Heavy stick comes in across to stay on that one for Podiak. Back into the corner it goes with 7 seconds. Now on the puck for the Trojans, it's Siemens. They play this one back up to North, who's going to play back in behind all the way around. We're even strength now at 5-on-5. Back into the corner it goes behind the net. Siemens looks out front. Moni is there now. Looks to find an open man. To the line it goes for Tomzik. Redirect, save, pad save, rebound, puck's loose. Trickled toward the goal mouth area. And the Red Knights alleviate the pressure with 6:15 to go in the period. And they'll call an icing on that one as it had just enough steam to get across the line.
Boy, you can just feel the Wayzata's wheels starting to turn in a productive fashion. They're putting Benil St. Margaret's a little bit under duress in that, but Benil St. Margaret's committed to defense. Limesand vulnerable, but there were a couple bodies in front of those shots to keep the puck out of the net. So as offensive as Benil has been, they're committed to defense, and that's what's going to be their method to success, but really good push by this Trojan team.
Limesand now with some gear to be adjusted.
Boy, that's not a bad play, and obviously if his gear needs to be adjusted, but it slows things down a little bit.
I think you're giving him too much credit.
Well, maybe I am, but there is a benefit to doing this. Wayzata seems to start to get a little mojo and a little energy, and this is going to maybe temper that just a little bit, but have to make sure that the mask is solid and it protects the goaltender. But Limesand's really been very athletic tonight. He's had to go side to side quite a few times, but I just like the support that he's getting back there and the commitment to defense by this Red Knight team, especially as young as they are. To get that level of commitment means Coach Pauly his message is being heard.
5-on-5 now. Get a good look at Limesand with his mask. Ooh, stick save off the draw. Trojans were not impacted by that. Throw this one back toward the goal mouth area. Schweitzer, leaves off, little shallow on the breakout feed there. Although Marshall with a nice play to get that one ahead to Bassan. And offside. Ooh, they didn't call that. They're knocked offside. Ooh, my word. Messenberg was bumped offside by a Trojan player, but they let it go.
Ooh, Red Knights a little deep.
Across the line now, it's played back in by Kimlinger. Limesand sets up, 5.5 to go. Big check there, turned over, net knocked off its posts. Not sure who ran into that right there, but nonetheless, let's take a look on replay.
Well, and I think it was the Trojans' Kimlinger that was actually going to the net, and I think it was a Benilde St. Margaret's player that knocked him into the goaltender that knocked the net off, so it's going to be, I believe, to Limesand's right.
Yeah, it was a D-man that ran into it clean.
Just 5:28 left in the second period. Boy, this has been a very intense period from both sides. The ebbs and flows of this period. Red Knights get their offensive zone. Now it's Wayzata's turn. But Wayzata's starting to find their Trojan flow. They're gaining the zone. They're putting pressure on Limesand and creating a whole bunch of duress for this Red Knight squad. But still only one goal on the board.
Really not much to say as it's just absolutely body swirling, stick slapping. Now we go. It's going to be Foley out of the zone. He has a look to the front. Off the post! Oh, my word. Look at this. 2-on-1 back the other way. Off a stick. There's a shot. Oh, and Limesand nearly overplayed that one. Got enough of the pad on that one to shut that one down. Now back in behind the play to the backhand from the forehand to the backhand. That was a chance there by Lewis. 4:45 to go in the period. Still 4-1 Red Knights. Down comes North, wanted it from the slot area. They couldn't get it there. Now it's going to be Gay with it. He comes away with it, feeds it to the right wing side. And now across the line they go. Thompson up ahead, waiting at the line. Opening up from the off wing. That one off the short side. Stick handled and played to center. Dusted off, as we like to say. North with it, plays that one back into the corner. Schweitzer will try to cycle to the left wing side. Nice play there by the Trojans. In off the wall was Kimlinger.
Penalty.
Delayed penalty coming up. Glove save, rebound. That one just misses the mark up over the top of the goal. Matthews, extra attacker, is on. Now it's going to be a shot from the point by Bergsland that misses the mark. And finally, that one is whistled down.
Well, Pete, just 3:50 to go in the second period. Red Knights kind of chasing the play a little bit. Wayzata being very aggressive on their pinches, really creating some havoc on the wings on the half wall for Benilde St. Margaret's. But that's the second time that Wayzata forwards got behind the defense before the puck has cleared the zone, and they really were in all alone on Limesand. So it's something they're going to have to be cognizant of. The defense can't be too quick on transition. Just because you may have possession, you can't activate too much. You have to mind your defensive zone. But great opportunity for Wayzata. Another challenge for the Red Knights.
Back in behind the net it goes. Gay tries to reach for it. Bergsland with it. Plays that one rink wide. North back into the corner. Jammed on the play and behind the net it goes. Puck will be rung hard along the wall. Bergsland controls. Sends a feed to the low slot area off the side of the net. That was handled momentarily by Podiak, but now North overskates and has to regroup with 1:25 in the power play. 3:12 to go in the period. Cross the line, Fairchild, nice feed to Matthews, shoots. Oh, and Limesand greets it. Puts the big catch glove out and keeps it a 4-1 game.
You know, I'm not trying to oversell that save, but if that puck would have gone in, Wayzata would have got significant energy off that. But Limesand did another great save. Matthews point blank, and he gloved that puck and really gave his Red Knights able to sustain their energy. But kind of a trying moment for the Red Knights. They dodged the ball. 1:17 left in the penalty to Ian Barr. 3:06 left in the period.
It's a nice save by the goaltender. Love the feed by
Huge
Fairchild.
Save.
I mean, Fairchild and Matthews dynamic together.
Oh, absolutely.
Face-off win, Fairchild from Matthews.
Put it right on
Play
his
this
tape,
one
too.
back up on the line. Got Kimlinger manning the point. Nice slide down to the right side as that shot from Bergsland misses the mark. They go blasting out to the Red Knights. Have 1 minute remaining in the power play, 2:49 in the period. As it's the Trojans to regroup. Bergsland looks to the left wing for Matthews, long across the line. Oh, Fairchild's open in front. Had to reach back to gather it in. Back door. That just missed with Kimlinger. Oh, and Matthews gets absolutely lit up. There's going to be a penalty coming up, too.
Well, and I think it was Bisson that was on the receiving end of that. It was Matthews and Bisson. Big collision. on that, it'll be interesting to see who's going to get that penalty. I wasn't quite sure.
Oh,
I think
it's going to be Matthews that goes.
And no, I don't know if it's going to be interference or what it's going to be, but elbowing, okay. But it looks like Bisson's no worse for the wear. He's still out there. Probably shook him up a little bit, but that really balances the scales a little bit. 44 seconds left in the penalty to bar, and barring another penalty.
Yep, Bisson was the man who was jammed there, and he's not going to go. So
no worse for the wear either.
Matthews,
He's a tough young man.
came together.
You know, Matthews is not very tall in stature, but he's got some muscle about him. He's got some girth.
I call it the Peter Zezel effect.
There you go. Perfect.
You don't have to be. I mean, if you're smaller with strength, you can be very difficult in this game with a strong base.
Leverage and foundation,
That's what it's all about. Face off. We're going to bring it right back down. Oops! Someone forgot to tell him it's 4-on-4.
Well, I'm sure somebody's going to tell him here. Very subtly at this point, but 2:29. Both teams were getting into that area where you want to play your best hockey, intelligent hockey, 4-on-4. A lot of space out there, but great opportunity for the Red Knights offensive zone faceoff.
That's Schneider off the draw. Trojans with the win. They have 33 of 4-on-4, and then the Red Knights with an abbreviated power play of a little over a minute. Back out of the corner, one out of there by Bergslund through center ice, quickly transitioning. They look to the slot area. A Red Knight player loses an edge, which maybe helped. Gay, nice job to play that one ahead. There's a quick one-timer turned aside by Wong off the bid that came in from Yakish.
Yeah, it was a pretty good shot. He caught an edge after the shot, but that might have given him a little extra leverage. But pretty good sequence by the Red Knights. Again, possession and speed through the neutral zone. They got it to the open player, and he got a pretty good shot on goal. 1:58. We're under 2 minutes to go in the second period. Just 8 seconds left in the penalty now to Ian Barr, and it'll give a power play of about 1:16, barring another penalty for this Red Knight squad.
Couple of 20s, Lutke and Messenberg off the draw. Lutke gets it. Now Barr steps on the ice. It's going to be handled at center. Callahan rings that one in behind underneath the stick of Wong. They'll jam together off the boards, and back into the corner it goes. Red Knights will look to get something going here the final minute and a half of the period. They have a 59 to go on the man advantage itself. Ooh, that one forsake the stick there. Oh, and that one back into the neutral zone as Schweitzer will regroup. Schweitzer now. Messenberg looks up ice. Ooh, that's the type of player where you could lose a knee. Bisson will be submarined back into the corner. Watched by Mortensen, 34 to go on the man advantage. Red Knights. Now Messenberg. Ooh, look at Fairchild. Nice read. Crafty player that he is. Luke Fairchild, the senior, plays to the right wing side. He trailed the play, and it's going to be turned back up ice. Here come the Red Knights across the line. Nice drop pass for Messenberg. Loads it up. That one was deflected by Gay on the way in, and it's sent back into center off the stick of the Trojans. That was Lutke, and now it's going to be Bergslund with it. Messenberg bothered him, and it's picked off at center across the line with Kimlinger. Loads it up and shoots. That was blocked by Schweitzer. Schweitzer gets it back, plays back up to the line. Held on to there by Tomzik. His shot scores! Oh, a big goal with 23.3. How about that? That came out of nowhere.
Well, it just seemed like the Red Knights just weren't moving the puck with the intensity that they were before. We got back to 5-on-5. I think it was Joe Tomzik, the junior defenseman, that took the initial shot, and I think they're grabbing the puck, so that might be his first high school goal. So I think that we're going to call it Tomzik until we hear something different, but that puck redirected a couple times to Lime Sands defense. But 23.3, that gives this Trojan team a little bit of energy. Interesting to see how this young Red Knight team is going to respond in the final moments of this stanza.
You could see that it was a rising puck on its way up toward the goal mouth area. The goaltender stands straight up. Stick comes up off the ice. Bam, it deflects down right between the wickets. Trojans now with some energy. 18 seconds. Back in off the end boards it goes. This is going to be an interesting third period between these two teams. Great game. Expected this. A really good game between these rivals. Icing will be the call. No ice on the play. 2 to go in the period. Bischel comes together with North. And that will do it for the period. And what a period we had here. It's 4-2 in favor of the Red Knights.
Well, if you're Coach Pauly, you have to feel good about the way your team played. Intermittently, they had some breakdowns as far as coverage and such, but I think they played overall a really good period. They're 4-2. Advantage going into the third period. You have to feel pretty good about that. If you're Coach O'Leary, you have to feel better about the effort that your team put forward. They were very productive, very aggressive as far as the pinches in the forecheck, but they were getting players, getting odd man rushes coming the other way. So things are starting to trend in the right direction for the Trojans as well. It should be a great third period.
Indeed, it should. We'll have more coming up for you. About 10 minutes, period number 3. It's going to be a beauty here from the St. Louis Park Rec Center.
taking you through the scoring summary. It started in the first period, 58 seconds. It was Cooper Gay from Jet Johnson, then Messenberg from Adam Marshall at 3:46. Then it was Nate Schweitzer unassisted at the 6:28 mark. Joel Matthews for Wayzata from Kimlinger and Carson Peters at 11:24. Finished the period 3-1 Benilde. Then it was Bassan from Foley and Messenberg at 1:34. Wayzata answered Bergsland from Tomzik at 16:37. This is where we are. Third period starts. Benilde St. Margaret's up 4-2.
Bassan with it now. It's going to be an interesting third period. See where this thing goes. Now, the Red Knights had that 3-0 lead turn into 3-1 with a response to 4-1. Do they open it up to 5-2, or does this thing get interesting at 4-3?
Well, I think right
it's
now
interesting at 4-2.
Indeed, it is. But I think now the call to order for this Red Knight team is just play defense first. Always err on the side of caution because they got a little lackadaisical, kind of lost their structure a little bit. Wayzata started to push forward. So if they could just get back to what they were doing in the first period, they'll be in good shape. They don't need a goal, but if the situation presents itself, you have to take advantage of it.
Moni now, they play this one ahead across the line. Back into the corner. It's going to be Matthews with it. Pinches his way. Tries to kick the puck to safety. Long pass. In stride for Messenberg. He has Marshall. Shot scores! Back up to the 3-goal lead.
Wow, that was a really nice sequence by Benilde St. Margaret's as far as the zone exit. It came clean and got up to Messenberg. Messenberg in the zone and then up to Marshall. And Marshall just went far side along the ice and beat Wong clean on that one. 5-2, 16-12 left in the third period. Benilde St. Margaret's a really positive situation for Coach Pauly and the Red Knights moving forward because it just seemed like the Trojans were starting to get some traction. Now it's up to the Trojans to respond.
You know, that goal by Marshall was absolutely terrific as he kind of slipped his way through. I think Bassan got the second assist.
Indeed,
there, too.
he did.
It's great to have Craig Roberts right in front of us. We get the official scoring from him.
Can we bring him everywhere we go,
I know,
Pete?
well, we try. Schweitzer with it. Now Sarsland takes it. Red Knights get the 3-goal. Their third 3-goal lead of the night.
Well, Messenberg
offside at the line
with Gino and 2 apples tonight, so he's been a very driving force offensively for this Red Knight squad.
Well, I mean that's 3 more points added to his ledger so far for Blake Messenberg this year. Now that gives him 21 points in his 11th game.
That's pretty impressive.
Making a mark here on this guy. You and I see him
right.
a lot because part of the MNHockey.tv does the Red Knight home games. We haven't had much of them since before Christmas. We didn't do the Duluth Marshall game because that wasn't on the docket, but beyond that, it's been a while. So it's been nice to renew acquaintances with the Red Knight edition.
Well, as you said, we started early in this year, and it's nice to see. I mean, when you take a step back and then come back in, you can see some of the subtle changes, but they're playing a much more mature game, a little bit more of a forward game, and they don't seem to have any trepidation or any inhibitions going forward. So things are trending in the right direction for Coach Pauly.
Well, Bart, what I've liked is they've been strong on their sticks.
Yeah, strong on their skates, too.
And moving their feet. Face-off win off the outside of the post. Back up to the line. Schweitzer looks to play this down the wall. Now it's going to be Matthews. He's a buzzsaw. But it's turned right back in. To the corner it goes. That was Jet Johnson with the play. Gay kind of dives down on his player there. Now it's going to be Callahan. Looks for things to unwind. That in on goal as Wong makes a save. Rebound. Oh, and that one was played out of the air. Nice patience by Gay. Wong was there. Rink wide. That's off the skates there and handled now by Schweitzer. They play this one rink wide. Callahan is there. Or checked that was Foley, rather. Now it's Johnson with it. Back up off the glass to center ice. Flipped up high in the air. Foley knocks it down. Back behind the net he goes. Callahan from the right wing surveys the scene. Across the line and played in deep. Nice job to handle this one out of the corner. Spun off the play. Now that was Bassan off the boards. A couple of 20s do battle. Lutke and Messenberg have kind of squared off in the squared circle and on the ice quite a bit here tonight. They've been kind of mirroring each other. Now it's Yakish with it. Look to Schweitzer. Wow, nice little move and feed there to the oncoming Messenberg across the line. Marshall waits for him. Messenberg to the corner, behind the back. I said this Red Knight team has a chance to be a legit bracket buster come playoff time. You bring that up to Ken Pauley, and he'll go, not so sure.
Yeah.
Love to be. He's playing the humble card.
Right.
But, I think after a game like this, I'll probably be doing Pauley's podcast and posting it for tomorrow. I'll be curious to hear what he has to say right now about where he feels his club's at. If they hang on and win at 5-2, if they don't, he'll have lots to say.
Yeah.
So regardless, it's going to be a good pod.
It usually is anyway, but it'll be enhanced.
Schneider now back behind for Lewis. Wrapped up by Schweitzer. Yakish now, 13.5 to go in the third. Looks ahead to Marshall. Transitions it ahead. Barr tried to find Bischel. That hits a pair of skates in Fairchild. Barr, nice job in front of the penalty box area. Bischel gets a stick on that. In front of the Red Knight bench it goes. A little pile up there. Bischel comes away with it. Had Warner to his right. Nice job to draw in the checkers there and chip it to the corner for Warner, who gets away from the would-be check of North. Flipped in the air, knocked down. Nice little play there by Barr. Through the goal mouth area it goes. It's going to be all the way up high. Warner tried to protect the puck. Does a nice job on Lewis. Here they go. Bischel down low. Oh, he wanted the high short side. In came Barr. Fought off by Wong. Red Knights are coming in waves here in this period. Now out of the corner, Warner to shot. Another save by Wong.
Well, good pressure by the Red Knights. Really have this Wayzata team scrambling to get their positioning. They're chasing the play a little bit. One thing I'm a little worried about with the Red Knights, is obviously if it's working, don't fix it. But their defense are still trying to kind of get involved in the offensive part of it and really creating perhaps some space out there for Wayzata. But Wayzata just can't catch up with the puck and get possession. Nice job by the Red Knights. 12:40 left in the third period.
Wong is sitting here going, okay, what is going on?
Right. He's doing a pretty good job of hanging in. I mean, he's been under duress for most of the game tonight.
Both these two teams are 7-2-1 on the season. The Red Knights ranked number 19 in the Double-A, and the Trojans number 8 in the Double-A. Back in behind the net it goes. Up to Yakish. Yakish will play this one down the corner. Nice job to keep that alive to the corner by Matthews. Fought off by North to center in front of the bench area. Schweitzer tried to play this. Gets across the line. Numbers, look out. Schweitzer has options. Johnson couldn't pull the trigger. They'll send it toward the goal mouth area anyway. Couldn't get it there as it was blocked back into the corner. Now the Red Knights, far side it goes. Putting on the brakes is Schweitzer. Snapper misses the mark. Big Karam gathered in with 11:40 to go in the period. Trojans will play this one in deep with Kimlinger. Limestad sets up behind for Schweitzer. Nice job to keep that alive by Bergslund. Gardner with it. Turns that one up. Shallow angle. Blocked, I believe, by the defense. That was Schweitzer. Look out, across the line it goes. It was Podiak to send that one in. From the left wing, it's sent in on Wong as he's going to hang on to that one.
Well, it was Wayzata that's really trying to stop the forward progress of Messenberg, but he used his body to get in the way and, has deceptive speed. He kind of kept pushing the play forward, got a decent shot on goal, but I think the important part is got it through the neutral zone, got it down deep, and now they have an offensive zone faceoff in the Wayzata zone just over 11 minutes to go. Benose Marcus holding on to a 3-goal advantage.
Face-off went up over the glass. To the line, it's Callahan. And they'll say, nope, that was offside.
I think he's going to say hand pass or something,
they did?
but they're
You're
going to
right.
bring it all the way back down. But a nice hold by Callahan on that. He took a check, made the play, but got it down deep. But again, an infraction, they're going to bring it all the way down just under 11 minutes. Offensive zone faceoff for this Wayzata team. Wayzata, they don't get rocked too much, and they really aren't. Their knees aren't buckling, but they just look like it's a different temperament on that bench right now, being down 3 goals with 11 minutes to go. They're going to start being more aggressive and taking some more chances.
I'd be curious to take a survey of our listeners. I'm sure the Red Knight fans would say no problem. But to think that they'd have 3 3-goal leads in this game against this Wayzata team, which is certainly top 10, top tracking team.
And they're not fluke goals either. They've been pretty solid.
Well, it hasn't just been a power play goal here. It's been possession and battles, and really one on every end of the rink.
Well, when they mind their positions, don't try to do too much, and move their feet, move their sticks, they've had great success. Had a chance between periods, Pete, while you were taking care of business, to say hi to Jack Jablonski, who's in the house. Got to say hi to Mike and Max. I got to meet, but to hear watching his alumni play, and very proud. One more year from graduation for Jack, but it was good to see him again.
Yeah, we had him on the Pauly's Pod. Did you hear that one? The most recent one. If you haven't, check it out on the podcast page before I change that out. Also, you can subscribe on iTunes. That's the way to go. Warner with it. I've got Goldie coming up next week as well. We're doing
I don't know about
tomorrow.
that.
They're going to call that one offside.
Boy, Warner walked that line pretty well, but again, we're not going to argue
Ken
with the ref.
Pauly with the back-arching deep knee bend on the bench.
But I thought he walked that line pretty solid, but the referee has a different mindset. So Benilde St. Margaret's opts to change their lines. Wayzata going with the same five that they had out there. Time is of the essence.
Gave the face-off win to Yakish. Cross he goes north. Absolutely greets Johnson with a shiver. Big check there. But Matthews takes over in front. That one pushed wide by Kimlinger. At the line, but not out. Now to center ice it goes as North will send that right back in and around Limesand. Nice job to get back and cut that off. Ooh, miscommunication. Yakish had to be quick. Matthews makes the read. Kimlinger was there. Johnson to the line. Peters has to regroup into the neutral zone. Moni is bumped by Mortensen as it's sent into Limesand as he pushes this off to the right. Bumped off the boards now for Yakish. Ahead he goes. Through center for Jet Johnson. Mortensen crosses with him. Johnson to the corner with Peters on him. Back behind the net it goes. Now out front. That was Bisson on that puck. Callahan is there. Callahan again, and that one's going to be offside at the line.
Well, really nice job by the Red Knights once again to contest Wayzata. Wayzata is a good team. They just haven't been able to sustain possession, and that's unusual for such a good quality squad. But that's a testament to the Red Knights and the way that they're playing the game. It's not a knock against the Wayzata. Plenty of time left for this Trojan team. 9:16 to go, down by 3 really effective shots to tie this game up. Certainly not beyond the realm of possibility, but the way the Red Knights are playing, it makes the challenge even steeper.
Delayed penalty behind the play. This one's on the Red Knights with 8:55 to go.
Wow, I think the Red Knights might have caught a break. It was a Red Knight penalty initially, and I think the penalty was going to go against Sarsland, but then it was Lutke that opened his mouth or did something beyond that. I was watching something else, but now it balances it out.
We'll see if we can see it here what happened.
But boy, that's a huge break for the Red Knights.
I think I saw a stick that was shot.
Well, 5-on-5, 8:55 to go. It's a 2-minute penalty, but it's 2 minutes and then the next whistle. So it could be 2 minutes, it could be 4 minutes, it could be 5 minutes. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Five-on-5 official. Now it's Marshall. Head he goes to Bisson. Bisson across the line for Messenberg. He'll fan on that one. Now it's the Trojans through center. Messenberg turns it up with 8:33 to go in the period. Messenberg, Marshall, bumped on the play, off the boards. That was by Schweitzer. Rink wide it goes on the tape across the line. Lewis shot save Limesand. Schweitzer again. Back up high it goes. Bergslund turns. It's sent away again by Limesand. Another body check thrown there. Bisson waits for that one. Picks up the pace across the line. Messenberg, no, check that. That's Warner. Ooh, he nearly saved at the self-check to save himself from being railed into the wall.
He did a nice job.
Good job he got up there.
Right on.
Here's Foley. Gets away from a forecheck. Barr plays that. Foley, nice job with the reach. Tried to feed Bischel, couldn't get him. Warner was there, but Peters comes away with it. And he finds his man through the neutral zone.
Penalty.
Delayed indeed, Bart Archer.
Well, it was really nice job by Foley to push the play up, but Foley's going to take the penalty as well. So a great opportunity for this Trojan team on the power play. 7:30 left in this, but it was a nice forward push by Foley. But again, when you have a forward back and a defenseman back, it puts you in a bit of a vulnerable position. They don't need to goal; they need to defend right now. But Wayzata a great chance right now in the power play.
So this is where you got to make your mark right now if you're Wayzata.
Yep.
Bergsland off the boards, deflected away. Snapper.
Oh.
Limesand. Wow. I think it took all sorts of twists and turns.
Wow, and that was a good shot, and I think it was Kimlinger that took that shot, and that's one of the players that they want to take those types of shots. It was from the right dot, but it was Limesand that came out, really challenged the shooter beyond the blue, received that puck, and area rebound as Wayzata had some support down low. 1:49 left in the penalty to Foley. Increment by increment.
Long ring cut off by Bergsland. Shot and a save by Limesand. That might have rung the post off Fairchild there. Bergsland keeps it with the foot. Nice job off the boards. Right. Absolutely. That one again off the side of the net. Yakish to the line but not out with Bergsland again. Lets a bomb go high off the glass. Just wanted to muscle that one through. And he wants it to be fed from Wong. Wong instead's going to go ahead up to the near side. That one's played in across the line by Matthews. Now it's going to be Gay with it off the boards. Bassan lets it go. 1:07 to go in the power play. 6:35 in the period. Bergsland again. Rink wide for Matthews. He'll race across the line. Puts on the brakes with Sarsland on him. Gay will shut him down. And now it's going to be Callahan. Watched by Kimlinger. Money with it. Brings it back behind. Gay comes away with it. Here comes Matthews. Hammers him. Now it's going to be Bergsland again. High in the air to the high slot area. Held on to. Oh, nice job by Limesand. You know what? He's finding his groove here right now. I can tell you that.
Well, he has to.
Back up high. Bergsland shot that one. Misses the mark. Shallow angle. They score! It's Fairchild on the power play. And it's 5-3.
Well, you could just sense that something was ready to give as Wayzata was maintaining possession in the zone. They basically barred the door, so to speak, and wouldn't let the puck out. And it was Fairchild that actually put that in. But the Red Knights, they just kind of lost their positioning during that penalty kill. But now it's 5-3, just under 6 minutes to go. Now the nerves are starting to grow a little bit.
Officially, that's going to read Fairchild from Matthews and Bergsland. 2-goal lead. It's going to be a dicey final. 5:49 to go. Sorry about that on the replay, folks. I got a little trigger happy there. I just double clutch. I think it's because it's game 4 of 4 today and 8 in the past 2.
A yeoman-like effort.
Thank you. Yakish. We'll see now if the Red Knights, we've asked this question all night long, are they going to grip the sticks tighter or are they going to keep playing with purpose? Lutke with the strip of the puck to the corner. Nice job there. Now it's going to be Bischel back up ice. Across the line he goes. Into the corner. Warner tried to position himself. Was played through by Wayzata. Center ice controlled now by Sarsland. Across the center red line. Leaves this one off for Warner. Wrist shot. Ooh. That one handcuffed Wong on the play, but he got enough of it to deflect that one wide of the mark.
It was a good save. Doesn't have to be pretty, just has to be effective.
Off the glass, Sarsland will regroup. Turn this one back up ice. Ooh, nice job there. Now it's going to be Messenberg to the right wing for Warner. Looking for Messenberg back through on the angle. Now it's Messenberg again. Tucks this one to the corner. Warner walks but gets nothing. And we have a delayed penalty on that one.
In fact, we have a slashing penalty. But no, nice sequence. Possession is one of the great defenders, and if you can keep the puck off the Trojan stick and watch that clock tick down, just 4:18 left, and it's going to be a penalty to the Trojans, and that's Jack Kimlinger, one of the bigger boppers on this team too on the offensive side. So, boy, Wayzata's not doing themselves any favors, but this is a really good situation for this Red Knight squad. I think there's going to be a timeout called by Coach Pauly. I think
actually, it was the Trojans that called that one.
I thought he pointed over to Ken, but good. Well, I think it's a good timeout by Coach O'Leary just to settle the troops down. They still have plenty of time. And again, this Wayzata team, even a man down, Benilde's going to have to mind their defensive responsibilities because this Wayzata team has the talent to put in a shorty and cut the lead to 1. So,
well, if you've got the 5-2 lead, if you can be precision on this power play and get back up for your third 3-goal lead, or is it fourth 3-goal lead? I'll say right now, this is crunch time for the Trojans, as they're going to need to take chances, but then not leave their defensive end. Because if they do kill it off, there's still 2:18 to go, and they've got some time to do some damage.
Yeah, and even though this Benilde team is on the power play, it's still kind of a trying, an intense moment for them as well. Kind of a little bit of a learning curve here, so to speak. I mean, holding a lead is nothing that unusual for Benilde St. Margaret's, but holding a lead against a quality opponent like this Wayzata team is going to be a learning experience for them. It's just going to be experience. Check that box in the column, but either way, they're going to be better off after this game. But they've really showed, I think, not only the fans that are watching this game, but themselves, that they can run with the big dogs and be quite effective if they play the game the right way. And so far, for a majority of this game, they've really played a solid, terrific game.
Well, to me, out of all of the games, it comes back to what Coach Klein said is very prophetic. It was, they weren't completely out of that Edina game, and that's one of the best teams around.
Absolutely.
This team is very good here in Wayzata. And St. Thomas is right up there too. But so they showed moments where that was not a problem. It was just a consistent effort. But this thing's far from over.
Right, but they learned during those games to help them
handle
look at that.
That makes things interesting. Fairchild draws the penalty.
Oh, boy.
How good is that?
Well, that's a nice job by the goal scorer for this Wayzata team. And it's going to be Adam Marshall, who's played a whale of a game right now, so it's going to be 4-on-4, a lot of space. That's exactly what Coach O'Leary and the Trojans needed at this point, 4:09 to go. Now 4-on-4, offensive zone face-up for the Trojans.
Interesting third period here. Bergsland is where their last goal originated from, the left point. Fairchild to Bergsland. Now Bergsland back over to the far side, shot into the midsection. And that was hammered in there by Kyle Mortensen.
Yeah, it was Mortensen. It was a good shot, but everything seems to be going by through Bergsland, the defender on the left side, but he sent one over to Mortensen. Mortensen put a good shot on goal, but Limesand once again right outside the blue took away all the openings and received that puck. Big face-off for both teams.
Pushed back through by Matthews in front. Oh, what a save by Limesand. That was a great one there. Lots of time here in the third period, 3:49. Trojans will push this
penalty
one off
again.
The boards. Another one. It's too bad. I wanted to see this thing go 4-on-4.
Well, again, it gets down to discipline, but
now it gets even more interesting.
Oh, absolutely, and that's Cooper Gay, too, that's going to go. He's got a goal in this game right now, but now it's 4-on-3. A lot of room out there. And they have a lot of offensive talent as far as the Trojans on the ice right now, so it's really up to the Red Knights to get through this moment. Very challenging for them.
One of the things that Ken Pauly and I have talked about in the Pauly podcast is take a lot of penalties. And he says, let's put them in some tough spots. And here's a 4-on-3. This will be
part of the growing pains.
There's lots of math going on the scoreboard. We'll just let you know what happens.
A lot of numbers, too.
Bergsland now gifts it over to the right side. Now it's going to be Matthews back up for Bergsland, loads it up. Oh, that was nearly redirected in by Fairchild. Back up high to the left circle. Bergsland shot again. Fairchild with the redirect. That might have gone in on its own had it not hit Fairchild's twig.
Can't chase the puck in this.
That was a seeing eye missile coming in from Bergsland. Another player goes down. They let that one go. Yeah, he could have called that.
I know.
Bergsland now will take over with it. 3 minutes remaining in the period. This 4-on-3 will last for another 38 seconds. It'll be a 5-on-3 for abbreviation.
Oh.
Nice save by Limesand.
Another nice save.
Now it's played back over to the right side. That was Mortensen with it to the corner. It's Matthews. Tries to fight off a checker. Bounding puck. Oh, look out. Nice job. Matthews stays on it. Mortensen loads it up. Save and turned aside. Nobody home as they packed it in, and the 4-on-3 allows for that. Oh, and a slash with a broken stick. And oh, okay. Let that one go. Matthews across the line. The Trojan bench is just saying, what was that all about?
Well, they might have a point.
You see two pieces of the stick right there on the top of your screen.
And now it's, boy, a lot of things going on right now in this game.
So the 5-on-3 is going to expire now. It's down to a 27-second 5-on-4 with 2:05 to go. There's North. Here goes Wong across the line. Bassan tried to fight that one out of the zone. Puck's loose to the near side. Schweitzer, he can send it down the ice. Clears the pressure. Bassan and Matthews come together. That's a battle to the corner.
That was a great race.
Yeah, it was a really good race, and it ended appropriately. Trojans come out of it. Nobody got hurt there. Ludke with it. Plays that back in behind. 6-on-5 for 1:28 to go here as the Trojans looking to put one in and see what they can do for the next. Off the side of the net is Limesand. Off the boards. Will that hit one of the sticks? No. That would have been classic. And icing the call. If that would have hit a stick on its way down, I were on the Trojan bench, I'd be beside myself.
Well, those sticks usually work into the play in some fashion. Didn't on that one, but just 1:14 left. If I'm a Red Knight player on the ice, I want to make sure that there's somebody in front of my net at all times. There was a lot of space in front of the net in front of Limesand, but Limesand's done a great job in this third period picking his team up when their wheels are wobbling. Another timeout, I think that would have to be Coach Ken Pauley. Settle the kids down, a minute 14 seconds away from a well-earned victory, but they still got some work to do.
The Red Knights take the timeout. This is, of course, their 20-year anniversary. Ken Pauley just basically told Limesand to get out of here. I don't know if he did, but if I were the coach, I would have said, you're fine, just leave.
Well, if I were the goaltender, I don't know why I would want to go over there anyway. He's in a world by himself right now, and that world is being successful in stopping the puck. He's done an outstanding job to give his team a chance to hold on to this 2-goal lead. He's made a couple very point-blank saves in this winning moments of this third period, so he's really picked his team up when he needs to, and that's what a good goaltender can do.
John Russo talking things over with the defensive zone coverage. Very, very specific.
You can
in
hear
his
the
needs.
buzz in the stands too.
Well,
it's almost like it's sections to a certain degree, but there's a lot of buzz, a lot of intensity.
We
in
had
the
that
air.
with the Tonka game. There was just such intrigue, and we had that with this one. And then the game that was just, to me, it was Cloquet Esco Carleton just finishing off Elk River. 5-0. That was impressive.
Yeah, I just came in the waning moments of that third period, but they looked like they had their speed about them. Elk River just looked a little tired from the brief moments that I saw.
Matthews and Messenberg in the face-off circle. Face-off, push to the wing.
Oh, that's a big chop
Poke
right
to
there.
center, nice win there. Messenberg gets the line, and he scores! Blake Messenberg ices this one up at 6-3 for the Red Knights.
Messenberg, that's the second goal of the contest, fourth point of this game. He's been a driving force. He showed good patience, but really you have to take your hat off to Coach O'Leary, pulling the goaltender, just pulling out all the stops, trying to give his team a chance to win. But tonight, as it stands, the Benilde St. Margaret Red Knights were the better team.
The beat the traffic chant is in full force, or whatever you want this one. I'll tell you what, this was a great hockey game here.
Oh, indeed it was.
Really entertaining.
And if you're a Wayzata fan, don't be discouraged because this is a good quality squad that's going to be heard from as this year goes on.
I just wouldn't want to see the Red Knights in the postseason.
And I don't think many teams would want to line up to face the Trojans either. But that's why we play. That's why we have so much fun.
I think the Trojans are as hard of a team to play against in high school hockey. Their structure, their discipline, their strength.
Well,
they just got a little bit of everything.
It's the consummate team concept. They have, obviously, this year they have Joel Matthews, but think back to when they won the state tournament that year. It was by committee. They played as a team, 5-man unit, and they just were very disciplined, and they played a really fun style play if you love the defensive game. But this team's got some offensive flavor as well.
Limesand sets up back in behind his net. That one's handled and hung on to.
Well, and getting back to the development part, we talked about all the youth on this Benoit St. Margaret team. This actually kind of moves the process forward an extra step to a certain degree, because confidence is a big part of hockey, and this kind of game can give a team like the Red Knights some confidence.
30 seconds to go in the period. Across the center red, it's Woodford with Barr.
Barr played a nice game tonight. Very subtle, not a lot on the score sheet, but he did got into the muddy areas and made some things happen.
Tucker Ness across the line and on goal. Limesand looks that in and reads it.
Well, you want to, if you're looking for kind of a player of note, obviously Messenberg with the numbers on the score sheet, but I think Limesand's really done a terrific job for this team. We've said it a whole bunch this third period, but not enough praise for some of the acrobatic saves that he made at the appropriate times. Really kept his team moving forward.
Yakish turned over. Oh, that's in front. Big chance there, as it's going to be the Red Knights. Back to center with Barr. And that'll do it here for this period. Wow. And the hockey game, the Red Knights with an impressive 6-3 win over the Wayzata Trojans.
Well, going into it, we knew it was going to be a tightly contested game, kind of a clash of two different styles. But the Red Knights came out with some flurry, scored just a minute into this contest, 58 seconds. It was Cooper Gay that really set the tone, and from that point on, the support came, that 3-goal lead, and then Wayzata tried to battle back, but very solid defense by this Red Knight squad. Limited, very good and talented offensive team in Wayzata to just 3 goals. And putting 6 against Wayzata is a feather in their cap for sure. But it was a great contest. We appreciate both teams' efforts, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. 4
big games here from the St. Louis Park Rec Center right here on the MNHockey.tv. Thanks for joining us all weekend. For our entire crew, it's been a wonderful 2 days so far, looking to wrap it up with 4 great matchups tomorrow. We'll get those to you for you here real quick. Look at the schedule as I pull it up. I should know it by heart by now. Wayzata and Holy Family Catholic. Wayzata's going to have to jump right back into the frying pan at noon tomorrow. Then Maple Grove and Cloquet Esco Carleton will play at 2:30. The Red Knights in Lakeville South are set to dance at 5 o'clock. And then Elk River and the Minnetonka Skippers, the 11-0 Minnetonka Skippers, will face off at 7:30 tomorrow night. For Bart Archer, Todd Grover, John Sands, John Cherney was here with us, as well as Earnhardt Jaworski, Sidney Henches, and Matt Harrington. I'm Pete Wagner. Good night, everybody.